Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing the water pump and thermostat in my VP Commodore, and also going to be doing a full coolant flush, radiator flush to get all the rusty stuff out. I just want to say thanks for the support on the last video. We got 4,000 views in about a week, which is a channel personal best. Just want to thank you guys a lot for that, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because there was about a 90% ratio of people that haven't subscribed that watched the video. So subscribe. So one thing I haven't done in the VP since owning it is put coolant in it. And I know there's going to be some people in the comments saying that I should, and I really should. But didn't come with coolant, so I never put any in. I don't know, I've never had a problem with not running it. It's always been extremely cold when running. But after seeing what's happened in Nathan's L67, which you'll see soon, there's a lot coming with that car. There's a lot that happened with that, and things that happened with the motor that Nathan's got to sort out, but that's coming. But after seeing what happened to that and what happened with Nathan's VY that he engine swapped and the corrosion that happened from not using coolant, I thought while doing the water pump and thermostat that I'm going to put coolant in it. So the first thing I'm going to do with the flush of the coolant system, of the water system, is pop that bottom hose off and empty it from there. Very brown. Even the cap was a bit muddy, but I cleaned it and it still looks like that. Okay, and after you've popped that bottom hose off, you want to jump in your car, turn accessories on, and turn on your heater. See, that's, I'll turn mine up. So that opens the valve in your heater core. So while that's running, while you have your heater running, you want to either disconnect your heater hose from the firewall that goes to the heater core, or just down the line here I disconnected the heater tap because it was easier. Run a hose through that. It'll put water through the heater core and come out of that hose to flush whatever's going through the heater core and back through the engine and then out. Do that for probably 4 or 5 minutes. Make sure all the existing coolant, if you have coolant, is out, and make sure there's no dirty water in there, rusty water in there still, and try and get as much as you can out. Just for a demonstration, but now I'll move the camera so it doesn't get wet. I actually disconnected the end of the hose and joined the hose straight into it. And I can just leave it running. You can see it's getting clear now, so I'll just leave that run for a little bit. While that's going, I've actually done a video like this before where Nathan did the front caster arm bushes on his VY and the water pump. So if you want to go and check that out, I'll put up a card so you can go and see it. But this will be a more in-depth how-to and more for Buicks, and I'm guessing around the same on the Ecotechs as well. So now that's done and only clear water is coming out. Also try and get the hose onto the end of the heater tap there and blow it backwards through there, and more dirty water will come out, which I've done that, and only clear water's coming out, so I can put it all back into place, do this hose back up. On the V and VP they have this shroud, and I'm going to have to take it off so I can get an ugger-dugger in here. So just take this top hose off. There's a bolt here, and one each down the bottom for probably 10mm bolts. Undo those and the shroud will lift straight up out. So the shroud is taken out now, and I didn't have to undo this top heater hose. Not that it matters, just an extra thing you have to do back up. So now onto the tensioner and get this belt off. Sorry guys, it's quite hard to record when it's just you. I'll try and set yours up. Maybe I'll go off a different one instead. So just these 4, maybe 8mm, 10mm bolts on the front. Once that pulley is off, we have a couple 10mm bolts and a couple 13mm bolts, so just undo them. Now you can just pull it off. Oh. Very nice. Very rusty and dirty. That gasket ripped, which is fine. Yum. So obviously you want to pull off the old gasket, get a Stanley knife or a razor or some sandpaper and go over the edge and get all the old gasket off. Right, now the old pump is off. It is time to put the new pump on with the gasket, but because I'm doing the thermostat at the same time, I'm going to undo this, take the thermostat out and pump the hose through here and try and clean whatever's in there out, just in case there's anything more left in there. Now that top hose is off, there's 2 bolts on either side. That's a 13mm with an extension. Just undo them. And it's got a bit of goo on it, so it might take a bit to come off. Yum. Look at that. Give that a wash out too. The top hose is also like that, so give that a wash out. Might need a screwdriver in there, clean that up with a razor blade and, oh, got it. Yummy, it's very dirty. And same thing with all here, get a razor in there and clean all that up, get the gasket off and clean the surface up. Now I've cleaned the gasket stuff off that, I'll put the hose in. And clean all that gunk out too. So now it's been flushed, cleaned, dried. You can go ahead, grab your new water pump that looks a lot healthier. You can go ahead and grab your gasket, line it up, grab one of your main bolts, sit it in, same thing all around, get them going a couple of threads, and then you can go ahead and do them all up. Same thing, just chuck the thermostat in with the gasket and put it back on the same way, feed the bolts through and ugga-dugga them in. And now you can chuck the front pulley back on, just 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, same thing, just how you took it off. I guess this is why they say don't use ugga-duggers. A little too tight. Hello?
Did you break it?
Did I break? Well, if you want to see something funny.
What the fuck is that? Is that the end of your water pump?
Yeah. It snapped it.
Wow.
Ugga-duggered a little too much. I mean, it's tight.
Yeah, not coming off.
It's not coming off. It's meant to be a how to, not a how to not. So just use a socket with an 8mm or a 10mm, yeah 10mm, instead of trying to ugga-dugga with an 18 volt. But now we can put the belt back on, put the shroud back in. I might put the shroud back in, I'll put the shroud back in after. Fill it up with coolant, which I have here from Super Cheap Auto. It's $11 for 5 litres of non-concentrate, pre-fill, pre-mix. So I've got 2 because apparently it takes 6 or 7 litres. Alright, shroud's back in, done up, connected, belt's back on, tightened, bottom hose, don't forget that. Time to fill it up with the forbidden cordial. Comes the real test of kicking it in the guts. Bring neutral, handbrake up. Pour some more in. Now it's full with coolant. We're going to bleed the system, which wait until water starts squirting out here and then just close this valve. Obviously inspect for leaks. And inspect the leaks again when it gets up to temp and it's pressurized. And just a little extra for the video at the end while I'm waiting for it to heat up so I can bleed the system. This trim piece some of you guys that have a VNVP VRVS might know that they snap quite frequently. Let me just turn the heater off because it is hot in there. You might know that they snap, or if you have Venetians, they like to snap, and you can buy new ones off eBay for about $130. My interior is blue, you can't see it. This is a light grey. Oh, sorry, like a dark grey. It's really hard to see in here, but no one's gonna notice, and it's gonna look a lot better. Can't even see it, but a lot better. Just the little things make you feel better about fixing the car. And I bought some new Parkers. And that is how you change a water pump and thermostat on a VNVP VR Commodore, so Buick V6. Thanks for watching, guys.